So today I want to talk about the names that we use for the divine, for God. Maybe you just say God all the time. Some say goddess. But sometimes I'm looking for my little list here. What do these names have in common? The man upstairs. How many times have you heard that, right? Big Daddy, G-Man, Sky Dad. What do they have in common? They're masculine, masculine names. And oftentimes when you ask people to describe what God looks like, you'll get the white man with the flowing beard sitting up on a throne or a cloud in heaven. That's I guess, the man upstairs, or the sky dad. Um, it's not right. We have to be better at introducing a better variety of names for the divine, especially for those of us who are church people in our worship services. Because what about these words? Father, King, Master, Lord. These are all biblical words, but they also have a secular meaning to them, and those meanings are masculine. Now, I'm not saying do away with them. Do away with them all, although the man upstairs in the sky, no, no, no. But Father and King, Lord and Master, they have their place. But you know what? There are more names that we can use. The in the Lutheran Church, the ELCA, we passed a social statement a couple years ago that advised us to use expansive language for the divine and inclusive language for human beings. We've gotten pretty good at the human beings mostly, saying people or humanity or human beings instead of men and man, right? But when it comes to what do we call God? Well, I have this wonderful list that I actually got from a liturgist, worship person who creates worship services. And her name is Ruth Duck, D-U-C-K. And if you find anything by her, you'll be in good shape. But this is a list. I'm not going to read the whole thing because she has a whole thing. Awesome God and holy friend, breath of every living being, breath within our breath, bond of peace, faithful God, fire of love, friend of friends, friend of outcasts, giver of life, glorious Son, God of wisdom, God the loving gardener. Goes on. It's a whole big page. I like the one coming from Hildegard of Bingen, who talks about the greening force. The divine is the greening force. Another one that I discovered recently is poet of the world. I really like I really like those. Although I also like um, words that are not names, to be no name, to be the unnamed, or Holy One, or beyond our knowing. You can get creative with it. It's not that hard to do. So here's my question. In terms of what you can do to help dismantle the religious legitimization of patriarchy, if you're a churchgoer, and no matter what denomination or brand you are, when you go into your worship service, how many times do you hear he, his, him used for the divine? How many times do you hear Father, Lord, Master, King? And also, how many times do you hear other words, other names for God? So just pay attention. Pay attention to those. And if you find that there's a plethora of male language, then maybe it's time to talk to your worship committee. And there are lots of resources out there. If you can't find them, message me. I'd be glad to help you. So, in the name of the Holy One, I wish you a blessed